Hey there, guys. Thanks for rummaging around in the junk drawer. I guess this is a little bit of a follow-up to the covered bridge video. And I'm going to keep this short because there's a decent cross breeze this morning, and I don't even know if you're going to be able to hear anything I say. But when I was researching that covered bridge video, I came across some interesting articles and some discussion forums that seemed to imply that, there was some thinking in the preservation community that wooden covered bridges are given perhaps more deference or more priority than their historic iron bridge counterparts when it came time to, consider issues of maintenance or renovation or replacement. And I think I came to realize that in some small way I was guilty of the same, because although I appreciate old buildings and old architecture and old structures, when it came to bridges, it seems like the only ones I ever really sought out were the wooden covered structures and not their iron contemporaries. So, as a exercise in inspiration and perhaps homework for the next outdoors gimbal video, I decided to come out to this place and spend a couple of minutes with this iron bridge. I'm going to step off to the left and get out onto the abutment so we can see this bridge from the side. This bridge was built in 1885, which is interesting because it is a literal contemporary of the covered bridges that we saw in the video that I posted recently. Which, is interesting because they, I think it's generally thought that, the strength and lower maintenance activities perhaps of an iron bridge is what eventually kind of made the construction of wooden bridges obsolete. But it does make sense that there would be a time where wooden bridges and iron bridges were being built concurrently, and this was the time, the mid the 1880s. And I'm no historian, okay, so we're down here in the junk drawer, so I'm saying things that I have not backed up with any sort of reading or research. But it's absolutely true that this bridge was built excuse me, it's the junk drawer, so I'm clearing my throat. This was built around the same time as those covered bridges that we looked at last weekend. And I'm definitely struck, after having been in the covered bridges very recently, I'm struck by one of the big differences in the experience of being on the deck of an iron bridge like this, is that you still feel connected to the outside, or a part of the outside, when you're on the bridge. With a covered bridge, of course, when you're inside that bridge, you are inside the bridge, and the outside world is mostly shut out, save the daylight that comes in at the ends. But here, we are still very much part of the wind and the noise and the sight lines and the light. Everything is still very accessible to us on this bridge. Very open, and this iron truss architecture is every bit as compelling as the wooden structure. You can see the decorative treatment up there where the end posts and the top chord come together, those circular details. So consider this kind of the first part of my homework for the next bridge video, because I do think that I owe it to these historic iron bridges to give them a little love on the channel too. We're gonna follow this little path and take a look underneath this bridge. So here we are, almost at the level of the little river, or stream, or whatever you'd like to call it. And here we are underneath. That's what the underside supporting structure looks like. You can see some pieces of wood that would have gotten jammed up there, I assume, during a time of flood or very high water. Even though that abutment there looks like it's at the shore, you know, that's actually the middle of the bridge. And that indicates to me that this whole area, that whole area opposite us, floods. And that's why the bridge is twice as long. So anyway, yeah, I think this is a very inspiring place to be, an inspiring structure. This has received love from the state, or whatever the governing body is for such things, and it has been rehabilitated and strengthened and preserved, so that's good news. But yeah, I think the next outdoor video will be a Iron Bridge tour. Let's head on back up and close with a last parting shot of the bridge. And let's climb up on this abutment. As as I hold my hand up to, oh gosh, there's the wind. Of course. As I hold my hand up to try to protect the mic on this phone. Anyway, just wanted to share a couple of my thoughts this morning about where the research on the prior video has kind of triggered my mind and kind of driven me in terms of inspiration and things to learn about. And that's good. I mean, that's one thing I'll say for this channel, is that it's not just about me sharing things that I like. Frankly, a lot of the topics have pointed me in directions that I didn't really know anything about before, and I've learned new things. And part of that comes from your comments and the things you respond to and the things you say, and I appreciate that. So, all right, thanks for hanging out with me. We'll see you soon. Okay, bye bye.